Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zills, and welcome to 10 Most Bizarre Murder Weapons. This video is by Top Trending, so if you haven't already, be sure you swoop down to the description box. Swoop down to the description box, click on that link, go watch the videos in entirety while me pausing, stopping, talking through the whole thing. I've heard of some crazy murder, but I don't know what is considered bizarre anymore. I mean, you can use scissors, an Xbox controller, you know what I'm saying, a tablespoon, plastic fork, man, you name it, bro. Anything can be used as a weapon. I'm a firm believer of that if used correctly. Be sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, support your boy. Remember, right around the corner from 1,500. Let's keep it going. The road to 5K. Ow, ow, ow.
In 2012, 33-year-old Derek Bordeaux went on a destructive drug-induced rage. Bordeaux rammed his car into the side wall of a church. In a frenzy, he jumped out of the vehicle and chased the pastor of the church from the parking lot into the building. Once inside, Bordeaux attacked the pastor and ultimately beat him to death with an electric guitar that he had found. Police arrived and witnessed Bordeaux slamming the guitar against the pastor's lifeless body. They used a stun gun to subdue him. After being put in handcuffs, he was placed in the back of a patrol car. Moments later, he was found unresponsive and pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Bordeaux's cousin told investigators that Bordeaux believed that someone was trying to kill him, and someone stuck a needle in his arm the week prior. As it turns out, either he himself or someone else had injected him with drugs. Toxicology reports from February 2013 show Bordeaux was high on PCP on the day of the incident.
And other poison vagina. What the? Oh, anyways, bruh. Yeah, I believe it. So maybe somebody did inject him. I know if it's one dude back in the States. I ain't gonna say his name. Also, he did drugs. He did marijuana. But I think someone laced it where he was. He laced it while he was smoking, and he's never been the same since. I used to see him walking down the street, and like every time I seen him, it just looked like he got worse. He started getting like real skinny, and you know, not wearing any shoes and stuff. I just felt bad because I know him my whole life, and I was just like, oh, what's up, man? He used to come and talk to me here and there. It was pretty bad. But electric guitar is really not that bizarre if it's in a church setting. You know what I'm saying? Like if it happened in a daycare and you ran outside and found an electric guitar, I'm like, what's electric guitar doing in a daycare setting? You know what I'm saying? But in the church, I can kind of see it because they play music and they sing throughout the thing. But dang, man, the pastor, he ran past everybody and got the pastor. I wonder why, bruh. Nobody helped him, bruh? Jeez, this must be church, bro. I know he just sit there and just let him do it, but PCP is like the superpower of crackheads. So I mean, if you're on PCP, bro, you're unstoppable, bro. You're gonna need Captain America or somebody to come stop that man, because it's untable. You seen the videos of people with PCP ripping out tasers, bro, and throwing them. So
in 2011, a 43-year-old man from São José do Rio Preto, Brazil, almost died from oral sex. His wife wanted to divorce him, but he wouldn't sign the papers. So in a last-ditch effort to get rid of him once and for all, she plotted his assassination attempt. She laced her vagina with some sort of poison and tried to get her husband to perform oral sex on her.
Oh my God.
He knew something was a little fishy when he smelled something funny coming out of her genitals. Fearing something was wrong, he quickly rushed her to the hospital, where she later confessed to trying to kill him. The doctor who detoxified the woman said there was enough poison inside of her vagina
to kill
that would
her.
have not only killed her husband, but her as well. Needless to say, he signed those divorce papers.
yeah, good man. The thing is, bruh, like he saved her and she tried to kill him. That's crazy, not knowing he was about to die. Can you imagine if he just didn't care? He was like, oh, she may be having a bad day. Maybe she just sweaty. He went down like, girl, I'm about to... Bro, she almost killed her. So did she go to jail or what? I want to find out more information about that. But Xbox 360, I don't seem like that second one's kind of bizarre. 100%, the vagina one was bizarre. But the Xbox 360 doesn't seem that bizarre to me, because I did almost kill him. Not like kill him. I almost did take out my brother back when I was little, bro. We got into a fight and I threw an Xbox controller at his head. And it's not the Xbox controllers that we have. I'm talking about them big, bulky, original Xbox controllers. And anybody know what I'm talking about. Them things was thick, bro. But let's just say he locked the door and he beat me down. But I've never thrown another controller since. But it was the principle, bruh. It was my time to play. It was my turn, and you got what was coming to you. Yeah.
22-year-old Darius Johnson of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, murdered his live-in girlfriend Monica Gooden with an Xbox 360 on Easter Sunday. He waited for Monica to lay down for bed. Once she had fallen asleep, he entered the room and smashed the gaming console on her head repeatedly. He then stabbed her unresponsive body with a knife over 20 times to make sure she was deceased. Police found a trail of blood leading to the body of Monica Gooden. Next to her was a bloody and broken Xbox 360 and 3 knives. Gooden had been stabbed multiple times in the back, chin, neck, and stomach. Johnson said that he had to sacrifice his girlfriend because she had control over his spirit. He had to sacrifice someone under the astrological sign of Taurus to cleanse his soul. Gooden's November birthday does not fall within the Taurus zodiac phase. According to police reports, he stated she would not die and that he fought her like he was fighting a dragon.
I guess you could say it was the red rings of death. No, alright, that was bad. Alright, I told you I get one. I get one. I get one per video. I get one dark joke per video. Stiletto
Anna
shoe.
Trujillo murdered her boyfriend, 59-year-old Alf Stephen Anderson, with a stiletto shoe in the summer of 2013. One evening, while the two were arguing in their Houston home, Anna removed her cobalt blue platform pump with a 5-inch heel and struck Alf over the head with it. Alf was hit with the shoe over 25 times, with 10 holes as deep as 1 to 1.5 inches. In the trial, she claimed that she was forced to murder Mr. Anderson because he was throwing her around the room over furniture and into walls. Her self-defense claim was thrown out. Investigators found no injuries on her body whatsoever, but there were defensive marks on the arms of her victim. A jury would sentence her to life in prison. A close friend of Anna's told reporters that she once said, "If anybody ever screws with me, I'll stab him in the eyes with this," pointing at her stiletto heels. 2008, Karen Walsh, a 45-year-old pharmacist from Dublin, bludgeoned her 81-year-old neighbor to death with a crucifix on Christmas Day. Walsh's neighbor, Marie Rankin, was using a nebulizer during the attack. Walsh grabbed a crucifix from inside Rankin's home and beat her in the face and torso, killing her almost instantly. After she realized she was dead, she then stripped the victim completely naked. Karen Walsh then sexually molested Mrs. Rankin in order to make it look like actions of a vicious intruder. Mrs. Rankin's dead body was discovered lying naked, bruised, and bloodied on her bedroom floor, with imprints of the crucifix's thorns on her chin. During the trial, the prosecution claimed that Walsh killed Mrs. Rankin in a drunken rage. They alleged that Mrs. Rankin criticized her drinking and urged her to go home to her 2-year-old son. She is now currently serving the minimum sentence of 20 years in prison before the possibility of parole.
Minimum? So the other lady stabbed a dude over 20 times with a heel, gets life. She goes over to this old lady's house that's 81 years old, kills her with a crucifix. I don't know what the crucifix was made of, but it said it killed her instantaneously. It must have been some heavy shit, bro. It must have been made out of Jesus leather or sandal or something, some kind of metal, because it killed her that quickly. And then she stripped her naked, sodomized her to make it look like she was some crazy pervert dude intruder went in there and did that to her. And she got 20 years, and she's going to get out. 20 years, bruh. That's crazy how the system works. Doesn't that make any sense? Like, I don't understand. It should be like one standard across the board, because that was way extreme compared to the Hill one. I know the Hill was kind of like, dang, she killed her husband, but 81-year-old defenseless lady because she told you to go home to your kids and take care of your kids because you were drinking? Yeah, she's right. Like, you can kill her because you feel some type of way, like it hurts your feelings. If it hurts your feelings, then you need to do better. That's all that is.
Donna Lange, a 50-year-old woman from Everett, Washington, smothered her 51-year-old boyfriend to death with her breasts after an argument. According to reports, the couple had been drinking alcohol and smoking weed all day. It is important to note that Lange's boyfriend was considerably smaller than she was. During an argument, she allegedly tossed her boyfriend around in the back of their motorhome. Neighbors say that the man could be heard yelling at the heftier Lange to get off of him. Lange was later found on top of him, with her chest pressed atop his face. Lange was completely passed out due to the heavy ingestion of intoxicants they had consumed earlier in the day. Medics tried to perform CPR on him, but he was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Autopsy reports show clumps of her hair were clenched in the victim's hands, showing signs of a struggle.
So did she just collapse from eating too much? Because they said it was smoking and taking stuff. Maybe she just collapsed and he was trying to wake her up and she couldn't. Passed out by a pair of boobies. I mean, I wouldn't be too mad if I went out that way, you know what I'm saying? It's not the worst kind of ways you can go. You die between Mother's Nature's bosoms.
In 2010,
Pickle jar.
16-year-old Daniel Kovarbasic murdered 55-year-old family friend Duane Hurley. The weapon of choice, a pickle jar.
I mean, it's
During the
glass.
trial, it came to light that Daniel was being sexually abused by Hurley for a number of years. Daniel claimed that the 55-year-old manipulated him to do sexual favors in exchange for money and to borrow his expensive cars. One night when Daniel asked to borrow Hurley's car to go on a date with his girlfriend,
Hey.
Hurley allegedly said, "You think I'm gonna do all this for nothing?" alluding to a sexual favor. At that
Dang,
moment,
they show
Daniel
everything.
reached his breaking point and hit Hurley over the head with a large 10-pound pickle jar.
10
He then
pounds.
grabbed a kitchen knife and stabbed the man 55 times. Prosecutors state that Hurley was struck 3 times with the jar as he lay on his bed, blows that would have been fatal even if he hadn't been stabbed. During the trial, it came to light that Hurley's computer had child pornography downloaded to it,
There
much
he
of
was,
it
real.
featuring underage boys in graphic sexual positions. Daniel was given 5 years probation and psychiatric help.
That's fair. I mean, it's fair, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't capped. He did it, and he probably saved some other boys that he may have been doing it to. I mean, I feel bad, you know, all life is precious, but at the same time, you got it coming, man. Also, you think I'm just going to do it all for nothing? You want that 1989 Lamborghini, don't you? You want to ride that Porsche, huh? A little fine little girl that you want to go pick up, but I mean, you know, it's not going to be cheap. Like, no, bro, he got it, bro. 10-pound pickle jar and 55 times. And I told you guys, didn't I tell you guys in the last video, when people stab somebody that many times, it's personal. And it had to be super personal in order for him to want to stab somebody 55 times. 55 doing it, bro. 55 times. Like that. Over and over and over and over again. That's a lot of anger.
In the winter of 2008,
I can see it.
55-year-old Murat St. Hilaire was found with a corkscrew sticking out of his temple. Investigators said Mr. St. Hilaire's relatives became concerned when his employer called to say that he had not shown up for work. His body was discovered by his own 11-year-old daughter in his Brooklyn apartment. The young girl ran out of the room screaming, "Daddy's dead! Daddy's dead! Somebody stabbed him!" He was lying face up in his bedroom with a corkscrew stabbed in the side of his head. Since then, no suspects or arrests have been made in the murder. Nobody knew why he had been killed, or what he was doing at the time, or with whom he was doing it with. He was simply killed by an unknown assailant who jabbed a corkscrew into his temple and fled into the night.
Maybe he did it to himself, you know? Maybe he was trying to, like, I don't know, pop open something, like, it's just like, you know, and it fell back onto the bed. I don't know. I just don't know. If he didn't have no alibi, somebody had it out for him. They have to look deeper, or maybe look for people that's closer, because I feel like, how did they get in? There was no, you know, no entry or anything like that, no broken glass or anything like that. It has to be somebody they knew, or he left the door unlocked. I think they should look back into that one and probably find something, because it has to be something. There's no way a random person just want to go in and kill you and nothing's missing. You know what I'm saying? I can believe
Ramon
it.
Navarro was a famous silent screen actor of the 1920s and 30s. Although he played the role of the Latin lover and lady killer on screen, Ramon was openly gay, once having a public romantic relationship with his publicist. In 1968, he was murdered by 2 brothers, Tom and Paul Ferguson, whom he paid to come to his home for sex. The 2 young men believed that a large sum of money was hidden in the 69-year-old's house, so after one of the men had sex with Ramon, they beat him mercilessly to try to get information about the money's whereabouts. Ramon's body was found the next day, bloody and bruised. His hands had been tied behind his back with brown electrical cord. The weapon that ultimately caused his demise was a sex toy. Reports say that during the beating, a lead dildo was repeatedly shoved down his throat, which caused him to suffocate, gagging on his own blood.
I can't, bruh. Like, how you gonna have sex with him? Beat him up and then kill him with a metal glizzy? I didn't even know they made them things in metal, bruh. Y'all hardcore like that? That's crazy. Like, that's some Iron Man, like, iRobot, like, RoboCop types. Drop it. Man. Jesus.
32-year-old Angeles Cadillo Castro was ordered to spend 5
Castro.
years to life in prison for her 5-year-old daughter's death. She repeatedly hit her with a stainless steel spatula for an hour until the child was no longer responsive. The child was found with
Spatula?
multiple lacerations all over her body. The woman tried to hide pieces of the murder weapon in drawers and a trash can, but authorities eventually found them. An autopsy reports that the official cause of death was exsanguination, the
What's
severe
that?
loss of blood. Prosecutors state that the 5-year-old was repeatedly struck with a metal object, causing her to bleed to death, which is a long, torturous process.
It is.
Experts in the field of child homicide say that this beating would have lasted anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. She had wounds from her neck to her knees, and other defense wounds on the back of her hands, where she tried to defend herself.
Bro, that's just pure evil, bro. That's a spatula on a 5-year-old. And y'all know how long it takes because a spatula is not sharp. You would have to get beat repeatedly, over and over again, like they said, for 45 minutes for those wounds to open and bleed, for your skin to break. So she probably passed out from pain, but she just kept going and going and going. Man, that's horrible, man. This is a really, really disturbing video. But man, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. This video is by Top Training. So if you want to watch it, be sure you go down to that description box, hit that link, and go watch the video in its entirety while me pausing, stopping, talking through the whole thing. Yesterday's video was really scary, and this video was really sad. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought was worse, and which did you think fit or did not fit into the 10 most bizarre murder weapons. Yeah, the corkscrew, pickle jar, and electric guitar was not that scary or not that bizarre for me. I thought they were just ordinary weapons that you may have used in a moment, because you see a corkscrew on the table, you can pick it up and you can use it. I've seen on movies use it as like a thing, you can twist it, you know what I'm saying, and pop arteries and all that. But I don't know, I don't think it